pick up your vibe, and you really need to be on top of that. So it forced all of us to be really present, and I play someone who has had a ranch for over 100 years. So these my horses. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of can't have them be like, skittish. But it was so much fun. I love getting to ride horses. I'm so glad I had an incredible double who I was like, you made me look good. Wow. But I was actually on like the robot looking so incredibly awkward and just, oh my goodness. I did not like it. Even when I think about it, it's like that moment in Sex and the City when she's having that, it's not the same thing at all, but when she had the affair with Aiden and every time she goes anywhere, she's like, no, because she just keeps thinking about it. I just kept thinking about how awkward I looked and from a distance what that might have looked like. And I was like, hope nobody, but in the actual final cut, I was like, not bad! Not bad! But it was so awkward to do it on like a fake horse.
Last part of our question is, so I know you play a strong character and it's sometimes hard to be vulnerable in those characters. Were there any moments that you had to be really vulnerable?
Oh yeah, what I loved about this character is she is the epitome of having to find your vulnerability, and she's in so many beautiful, loving relationships with her partner, with her kids, but they all have something that needs nurturing or mending. That's kind of the vibe of the show. And in those moments, she has to soften a lot, which I think is so beautiful. Like, I won't ruin anything for anybody who's gonna check it out, and I hope you do. We have this scene between me and my husband, and it looks like we're about to have the biggest fight ever. And it just turns in a really beautiful way where you think, they've had therapy. Yeah, that's a tool. They used it. They're like, hold on. I think this is projection. But what's really beautiful about it are those moments of vulnerability where I just don't think we see relationships evolve in a way where you're like, oh wow, these are people who are doing the work, and doing the work requires you humble yourself. You know, you're like, I was wrong and I didn't mean to, and I had time to think about it, and I should have chosen differently, but I'm choosing differently now, and I love you. And then we make out. It's really beautiful. But thank you, yeah. I hope people like it, or at least have as much fun watching as you have making it. Hi.
Hi, my name's Ashley, and I'm actually an actress myself. As a Black actress, seeing people like you is incredible and inspiring. I was wondering if you had any tips for people like me who are trying to be the way up in the business. What
type of advice specifically would you like?
Tips on how to navigate the world as a Black actress.
Okay. Very specific practical tool, and unfortunately this is still a thing, have your makeup with you on set. It's true. But don't be afraid to ask for makeup consultations and hair consultations. Don't be afraid to do that kind of stuff. Stand in your like royalty moment of just like, it's what I need, because I can't guarantee that everybody's gonna know how to work with what I've got. So I wish somebody kind of gave me authority over that sooner. And that's just like the look of it, but internally, I will always say, respect yourself. And what I mean by that is, ask for the things that let you feel like a human being on set. There's a lot of hierarchy, and there's a lot of, oh, you're in the bad trailer, you don't have the honey wagon, you're not the important one. Ask for the things that forces people to treat you with respect. And because I think it's different for us in a way because we're so used to doing so much with so less. And I just say, let's just cut that. You know what I mean? It's like Black girl magic, and you're like, I didn't sleep, girl. So I don't know how magical that is, but you know what I mean? Like we put ourselves in these positions where we're having to do superhuman things, and then we call it magic, and we're like, it's not magic, it's just more work, actually, a lot of times. But, and then ultimately, on a spiritual level, you're like, I did not ask all about this. And I was like, well, you gonna get it? I said I was gonna go deep, but here it is. But it is the thing of just like, when you're on this journey, remember that you have a calling, and that you're not chasing a dream. The dream is actually chasing you. It's asking you to slow down so it can catch you. You know what I mean? Because what's meant for you will always come to you. And as you have a dream for anything in the world, any role that you want to play, I promise you, someone is sitting there being like, I can't wait to hit publish on this new book, this new show, this new movie, whatever, and you will be the person that they don't even know they've written it for, but they wrote it for you. And you gotta trust and believe that. Did that answer the question? Awesome.
I'm Julia.
Hi, Julia.
Your portrayal as Death and Julian's portrayal as Death were just so powerful, both of them. I don't think I can pick which one I like better, and yet they were so different. I wondered if you guys talked together before you started the role, and what that was like.
That probably would have been a good idea. I did not. I did not. But I did go back and rewatch everything. How many of y'all know that I actually love the show? Okay, so the word's out. I love the show, so I have seen it. And when I got cast, which how many people know about the story about how I got cast? We'll get to that. We'll get to that. One thing at a time. But when I got cast, I went back and I watched it all again, and I looked at it from the lens of I was always there. So it's not like I just popped up, but every time he'd make a deal, I was there, you just couldn't see me, being like, don't do it. You know what they gonna do. Really, pizza again? You know what I mean? Like, I was always there, and what I love, because I didn't know how to build a character that you didn't know was gonna come back as often as I did, so I always kind of held myself to what is new about this now. And one of the things that really helped me when I was building the character from jump was, A, I know the story, so when you say the old Death, I know what you're talking about. And I'm just gonna pretend I'm the new Death, as a matter of fact. And that's how I always played Billy, because Billy was always gonna be Death. Like, I don't know when it was gonna happen, I didn't know how it was gonna happen, but as I kept getting brought back, I realized, ooh, you know what would be fun to play is every time I come back, I'm coming back because I've gotten a new download. So when a new Reaper becomes Death, we're like, oh, this bitch really watches the show. Yes, I do. But when a new Reaper becomes Death, the download doesn't happen immediately. So it goes in waves, and anytime I appear again, I would always come with the perspective of, I got a new download. And it would really fortify being like, I said, nobody is coming back. Do you understand? I saw the book. I saw the book. And it would just give me something to really actively fight against and play with the boys so that it never became the same kind of scene over and over and over again, which I'm so grateful you guys see that and you caught that. Because that was part of the intention I had around building Billy. Great question.
Awesome, thank you.
Hi, my name is Diane. Hello.
Hello.
What was your favorite part about playing Billy? And also, what was your favorite part about being on set?
Oh my God. My favorite part about being Billy was, just how strong she is. Every time she came into a scene, she's like, I have all the power. So we will treat me with the respect that is due. Loved it. And I would probably say the best part about being on set is the crew. They're an incredible group of people. They've been together a really long time. They're a well-oiled machine, and that's a hard thing to walk into, but there are so many people who were incredibly kind and generous. Like, the first day, there was people from hair, makeup, wardrobe, who just immediately set me at ease. Like, Charmaine was like the first person who did my hair on the show. And she's like, girl, I got you. You what, like a 4C? I was like, oh! As a matter of fact, I am. How do you know such terminology? She's like, I studied hair. And I was like, oh. Well, they don't study it everywhere. So I'll tell you that. You're ahead of the curve. And she created Billy's look. And I was like, yes, girl. Because when I auditioned, which is a totally different story, I had very straight hair. And so I'd asked Bill Spreeshi, one of the producers, I was just like, I mean, I auditioned for this with straight hair, but does it have to be? Like, I mean, only because we've just seen so many black girls with straight hair on TV. Let's give her some curls, Jesus, to match the curves. And it was like, yeah, girl, do what you want to do. And I was like, oh, I am in somewhere different. They're giving me hair freeway license, and it was really, really cool. But yeah, the people, and the fact that she gets to be totally badass. Thank you for your question. She's also brand new. Be nice, give her tips, don't forget your water. Let her know she's welcome. Hi.
Hi, my name's Meg. How are you?
I'm good, Meg. How you doing?
Good, thank you. My question is, if you're in a situation, professionally or personally, where you're kind of anxious and you're worried, like, I don't know if I can do this, do you have something you say to yourself to psych yourself up and give you confidence?
All the time. Move, bitch, move. I'm kidding. No, when I get nervous, and I get nervous all the time, I get nervous to do the Saturday night specials, I get incredibly nervous to sing in front of people, so I feel like for the most of my life, I'm like, I'm so grounded. Oh my God. I feel invincible. Nothing actually gets me, and then someone hands me a microphone and says, start singing, and I get hot sweats and nerves and everything tightens and tenses. But what I learned in that moment was I could actually tell my body to do the exact opposite, and then I hold steady to being present. Almost like I'm playing baseball with myself. The present moment is home base. That's where I'm safe. If I go into the future, I've already fucked up. If I go into the past, I've already fucked up. But if I stay in the present moment, I have not sung a bad note yet. I have not done anything weird. I am totally safe. And then when I move, I'm like, don't forget to feel your feet, feel the ground beneath you as you're moving. You have to be incredibly present. You'll see it, whoever's coming on Saturday night. I move very slow to get on the stage because I need to stay super present because I'm so wanting to leave my body in that moment to just like, peace, oh my God, there's a lot of them. You know what I mean? Like, not okay. So I don't want to do that to you. So I very consciously do a body scan and I just don't stop until the experience of what I'm going through is over. If you follow me on social media, if you know my work at all, like as a coach, you know I'm a big believer in body scans and tuning into your body to check out how you're feeling, because that is where you're going to get all the answers. Instead of trying to like think your way into positivity, I'm more like feel your way into life, you know? Because when you're able to be conscious of what that internal world is doing, you have so much more power over that. You can say, drop your shoulders. You know what I mean? You can say, relax your jaw. You could be like, unclench your butt cheeks. Okay? You could be like, just relax your toes. And as you do that, you start to lift off of the fear, of the anxiety, of the stress, because those realms don't have that weight. Do you know what I mean? Like, you gotta let it all go, but very physically, like I was saying, you have to have cues and commands that you give the body so that you're able to relax and have access to it. We were just talking about this in our meet and greet, and I always say that the breath is like a key card in the building of love. And if you haven't done any work and you're tight and you're tense and you're just stewing in it, you only access the main floor, which is just all fear. They don't even have snacks. You know what I mean? But then as you take a bigger breath and you look for that area that feels tight or that area that feels tense and you breathe space into it and you breathe life into it, all of a sudden your key card now has the ability to access a higher floor. Did I lose you? Okay, people are like, no, girl, keep going, where are we going? So it's like as you breathe into those spaces, you're able to go, and you're like, I am heading up to just irritated. You know, and you probably stay on that floor for a little bit until you take more deep breaths and you calm yourself down, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, look at that, my car just gave me access to a little bit of just content. Look at that. Not at hope yet. That floor is so high. Oh my God. But I'm still doing the work, and I'm still breathing, and I'm still doing it, but things still suck, and it's not perfect, but it's okay. I'm at least okay with where I'm at. And then all of a sudden you go ding, and you're like, oh, Bitch, I got into hopeful. I'm leaving you. Okay. You know what I mean? Until you're just like, I like it here. I'm able to think better here. I'm able to have access, and they're giving away food. Girl, you know what I mean? You're like, they got buffets up on that hopeful floor. They feeding you well. And then it's a hop, skip, and a jump, and you're like, I love it here. I love it here. My key card works everywhere. I could go up, I could go down, I could do whatever it is that I want, and it just works. And I think the misconception is that when you do this spiritual work, when you go on your journey, you're just like, oh my God, I'm never gonna feel like a piece of shit again. Because I will feel loved, I will feel like I am light. Bitch, no. If I could give you any tip, is you're going to still have to contend with those feelings, those ideas. The only difference will be is the way that you hear it. I'm going through the same stuff as a lot of you guys. Shit's coming at me too. The storm is not made of sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. It is a shitstorm in my face, but it looks different in my head, because I live in a comedy. And we've got lots of really fun characters. I'm telling you, the more sane you are, the crazier it gets in your head. Because you gotta talk yourself off a ledge a lot of the times. And so, with the energy of the planet moving so fast that it feels like things manifest in a second, you gotta have a tool like really activating the breath to help get you where you wanna go without feeling like you have to be annoyingly positive. You know those people where you're like, you don't believe it. You don't believe it, you know? Fast forward a month and they're the same people being like, I've done everything right. It's been, you know, and you're just like, but you were just thinking it. Can't overthink your way into inner peace. Can't do it. I've tried. That's why I'm telling you. I've tried. Great question.
Thank you so much.
I always want to make sure that I'm like, did I really answer the question though? I love you guys. Hi.
Hey, Lisa.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm really, really good. So last time I saw you, I was on a journey myself because I drove from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, down to Austin, Texas, and back up again. And part of it was as a reward for all of my mental health journey that I've gone on. Now, my question for you is, have you ever treated yourself to an adventure after you have done some of the work that you've done for yourself?
Have I ever treated myself to an adventure after doing the work? I mean, girl, yes, I'm doing it right now. This is the trip. Y'all are the guests. I love it. This is my everything. I love it so much. Yeah, no, I treat myself to a lot of things because I think you need to romanticize your life. You know what I mean? Because it's not about the destination, right? It truly is about the journey, and it's just like, I don't care where that goal is, like, you gotta have a good time along the way. So, I celebrate just the fact that I got out of bed. I mean, when I was pregnant with my kid, I had the flu, I had nausea 24/7, and I remembered making it to the couch, and I was like, you deserve a medal. Because that took everything you got, and you gave it. I'm proud of you. And nothing's too big. Nothing's too small. But yeah, I celebrate the journey all the time. As should you. Great question. Good to see you. Hi.
Hi, I'm Sean. How are you?
I'm good. You're so ready for tonight.
I wish I could.
Oh my God, I want your outfit. Share.
You have been lovely, by the way, with your advice and everything else. And you were going to tell us a story about how you got cast.
Oh.
And then you skipped it.
I love you. Would you like the story? Yes. All right, I'll tell you the story. I'm gonna need the chair because it's all about the dramatization. So I'm setting it like this because I need you to imagine that there's 2 rows, okay? And on these seats in these rows are beautiful, stunning, great actors too. And I'm auditioning for the role of one of the witches with Rowena. And I was like, I've got this. Because I also want you to know that I've been auditioning for the show for almost 10 years. At this point, okay? And by year number 7, I was like, I just don't know how many years they got, man. maybe this isn't meant to be. But then I'm at this audition. It's the first one I'm ever doing in person. All the other ones have been self-taped. And I'm sitting on my little chair with all the other girls. And I was like, oh man, this is so cool. I'm doing an audition for Supernatural. Someone comes out to be like, oh, Jensen's just running a little bit behind. We're like, cool, thank you. Got it. Oh, that's great. Jensen's gonna be in the room. That's nice. Twist. Okay. Oh yeah, no, hi. I said, yeah, good to see you, okay. And then all of a sudden Jensen walks in, and I shit you not. Okay? Every girl on both sides like, oh. And I was like, I just need to get out. I need to walk that energy off. Woo, okay. You know when people come with energy and you didn't know? You're just like, you're just a person just like us. No, he is like a ball of energy. Superhuman, I'm gonna tell you that right now. Because I lost it. And I was like, oh shit. Okay, what's happening? I'm up next? Got it. Thanks. As to the question of how do you calm your nerves, I was like, okay. First of all, you're gonna have to get used to working with famous people. Okay? This is your career, okay? Just so you know. Calm yourself down. Chill out. Breathe. Settle. Girls still fucking losing their shit on the chairs, okay? And I'm like, I had to get away from that energy because I was like, no. No, this is my chance. This is my shot. Do not miss the chance. You know what I mean? It was my Eminem moment, okay? I said on myself, Lisa, oh, that's me. Go into the audition room. I see Phil, Jensen. I was like, hi, thanks for seeing me. They go, whenever you're ready, do you have any questions? No, I'm good. I do the scene, and they're like, and then Jensen's like, hold up. I know the scene's not ready like this. He didn't sound like that in my head. But can you play the scene like you're the most powerful one in the room? I was like, yeah, gosh, yeah, of course. Just so you know. And you sing. Like, that was great. That was really great. I was like, thank you so much. Thank you. Have a great day, guys. Thank you. Okay. And I get out and I immediately call my friend and I'm like, oh my God, I just heard a Jensen, bitch! And she's like, didn't you just have an audition? I was like, he gave me direction. It's like totally the same thing. Why are you trying to ruin my moment? I worked with Jensen, period. Thank you, full stop. Hello. And then fast forward a couple of months, and I get a call from Phil, personally. And I was like, what? And he's like, well, from that audition, we had a character. And we thought, you think, me? This is a conversation I wasn't privy to, but now know. And he was like, yeah, so when we asked you to do the redirect, it was for that character. Do you want it? Let me think about it. Absolutely, yes, I do, thank you. And your dreams really do come true. Cool. All right, we'll reach out. My manager called, she's like, it's one scene. Yes. Okay. Cool. Fast forward 2 days later, they're like, can you sing? I was like, bitch, I can ride horses, yes. Of course. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you. And then all of a sudden, Phil calls again. He's just like, can you send me a sample? I was like, yes. Send him something from a show I did a million years ago. And he's like, oh yeah, that'll do. I was like, oh, okay. And then I see the song. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I watched the show. I know what song this is. You want me to do what? Hyperventilating. Immediately panicked. And he's like, don't worry, you just need to sing the first half for the opening of the scene. I was like, sure, cool, no problem. I'm gonna learn the whole fucking song, are you kidding me? I learned the whole song, I worked with a singing teacher in Vancouver. They get me set up, and then at the day of, he asked, let's do it. And he's like, oh, you know the whole song? I was like, yeah, of course I know the whole song. I did not know the whole song, but I worked to know the whole song. These are those moments they don't need to know about, but you know, for you guys, I did. And so they brought me into like a little sound booth on set, and they were like, can you sing the whole song? And I was like, sure. Had no idea it was going to become the trailer for season 11. No idea. Aren't you glad you learned the fucking song now? And that is how I got cast on Supernatural. It was quite simple. Thank you for bringing me back. Hi.
Hi, my name's Olivia, and I was wondering, how long have you been doing conventions, and what's your favorite part about doing them?
You guys, hands down, love the people. I actually didn't know that there were Supernatural conventions, so when I found out that there was a whole group of people who liked the show too, I was like, shut up, really? And so to be here, it feels so great because I was in the car with Brianna and I was just geeking out about another show. She's like, oh right, you like that sci-fi stuff. And I was like, yes girl, it's not a game. I really, really do. On a level that should be illegal. But I just see so much deep shit in it. Like it's never been just demons. I'm like, those be the motherfuckers that come for me every day. Doesn't everybody see it and you become a hunter in your head? Or at least in my head. I take on different roles. Like I said, it gets real entertaining. But yeah, no, and I don't do very many conventions. This is the first convention tour I've done in about 5 years. Thanks for having me. You're so amazing. Like my favorite part is just getting to be with you guys and hear your stories, and especially like in my meet and greets, we go so deep in my meet and greets. I'm gonna just, you know, we should stop calling them meet and greets, we should just call them coaching sessions. Like we just call it out. You know what I mean? I'm like, I would like the long answer to how are you doing? That's how we roll in our meet and greets. But yeah, no, I don't do very many of them, but the few that I do get to do, I have a blast and I love meeting everybody. I'm still like, y'all wanna meet me? Me? Sarcastic little me? Absolutely. Love you! I love you. I love you too. Yeah, thank you. Great question.
Hi, Lisa. Thank you for being here in DC. My name is Erica.
Hi, Erica.
This question is actually inspired by my friend Krista. We were talking about how Kirby Howell-Baptiste played Death in Sandman.
Okay.
And we feel like you were an inspiration for that. And, you know, that was a white comic book character that is now portrayed differently because you actually trailblazed that, I think, in this kind of universe. So I want to know, how do you feel about that? And what other roles do you think need to be more diversified to have that kind of trailblaze so that Hollywood sees all these different faces and shapes and sizes and people in these types of roles? Thank you.
Oh my God, bless you. When I saw it too, I was like, I got the part? Oh wait, that's not me. Shit, girl. Twins. We look so alike. We look so alike. I was like, it's like looking in a mirror. And I love that show too, you know. I mean, I never think of myself as a trailblazer necessarily, even though that was the first award I ever won as an actor. But it is one of those things where, when it comes to what roles do I think need to be, I'm more of the school of we need people representing all across the spectrum of like occupation. Because right now, like, you know, a white guy can be whatever they want to be. They can be poor, they can be rich, they can be a plumber, they can be whatever. But like, black women in particular, you know, you're the best friend. And so we can't have you be the crazy psychopath who's a serial killer, because you're like, well, first we got to make sure we've covered all of our major bases before we get to be different things and play different types of characters. And so I find that really what would be helpful in the industry is seeing a variety of black people doing different stuff. You know what I mean? Like, even my show, people were like, black people on horses? You got what? What? And then as convenient timing would have it, Beyonce drops a whole, yeah, we're there too. You know what I mean? And so I think the more we see different types of Black people as well, or people of color, or, you know, different representation, the more we see, you know, the other in all the different roles, I think it'll be easier for us to start doing what we see as like normal and regular for the white male and white female actors getting to do. Right now it's kind of like, don't put them in a bad light. And you're like, put them in a bad light, especially if you've got a big showcase of like 10,000 romantic comedies with Black girls as the lead. You're like, we get it. You know what I mean? We get it. Now we can have Black people be serial killers. I mean, we're not, but we could. We can play it if we wanted to. I actually auditioned for a serial killer and I was like fighting it. I was like, what? Do we do that? I don't understand. How do we walk? Felt like a new body. But yeah, no, I would just love to see a variety of different Black people, so not just the, oh my God, girl, yes! And not just the strong, confident type, but just the whole like, I'm a mess too. I am Bridget Jones's Diary. I just have kinkier hair and more melanin. But I get it, girl, I get it, just like you do, you know, but we don't have that, you know? So I think just seeing it, my husband's a Black guy who was adopted by white people. Berry, this is us. And, no, but I'm not kidding. When he saw the show, he was like, what the? I was like, I think we're gonna get to explore some shit here. Because they're talking about a different kind of Black guy. A Black guy who was raised by white people. Like, raised by wolves. It's so wild. You know what I mean? It's some shit you just don't see happening every day, but now we're telling that story. So he's not this anomaly anymore. When people find out, they're just like, oh my God, like the guy from This Is Us. And you're just like, yes, exactly. And now you know most of my journey too. You know what I mean? So, long answer. Thank you for the question.
That was a very serious question. This is not a serious question. So my question is, so if people sneeze, you say bless you. If you could change the phrase that is said after people sneeze to something different, what would you want people to say after they sneeze?
Bitch, yes! Or bitch blessed. I would have bitch with everything. Now you know me. Now you know me. That's fun. Now anybody sneezes, I'm gonna be like, yes, bitch, blessed! Just like Kuzantine. I was like, no, we're doing something different now. It started. Hi.
Hi, I'm Falco. What is one thing that you can take from Billy that you want to incorporate into your life, or you want other people to incorporate into their life? One piece of advice that you give to Billy?
Ooh, girl. I like your question. One piece of advice from Billy or thing that I take from Billy is their stillness. Bitch doesn't really move. She's so focused. She's just right there. It reminds me of my kid when he was first born. Just look right through your soul and you're like, I want to check out. You're not, wow, still got me. Okay. I thought they said you couldn't see, but very clear-eyed right now. But I love the stillness that I got to play with that character because it's such a powerful energy to sit in. And so I love that. And one piece of advice I would give Billy is just like, relax, man. Live your life. Don't listen to everybody. You don't have to follow the rules. But they would very quickly be like, it's all about the rules. Do you understand? Without the rules, there's no balance. Without the balance, there's no world. Without the world, there's no need for us. She goes deep. I was like, okay, I'm back to relax. Okay, bitch? I'm back to relax. But yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Thank you. Hi.
If you didn't go into acting, what would you do?
I mean, I'm doing it. I think being an actor activated more things within me than I realized. because I started out as a makeup artist, and then I moved into, which is why when I got on set, I was like, oh, no. No, that's not my color, and that's not okay. The makeup artist in me is just rebelling. And then I was also a personal trainer, and these are the jobs that I had in and around being an actor, because I still wanted to enjoy my life. And everything else was just really, really hard for me, because it wasn't my sweet spot. I tried to waiter, and I was like, you guys don't get breaks. I'm out. And you're on your feet all day. Good God, I tip well. Let's just know that's what I learned from that experience, is tip well. But ultimately, when I became an actor, it felt like I got to kind of put all of those skills to use, especially when I'm working in theater, because you're doing your own makeup, you're creating your own characters. And then when the calling came to really help artists, like fellow artists, I was just like, that makes so much sense too. This is pulling it all together. So I'm living in the expression of the fullness of what it is that I want to do. Because as an actor, I was like, we're crazy. Oh my God. How do we deal with this? Especially when you're taking on characters and roles, and I didn't know how to get out of it. I only knew how to go deep. I didn't know how to come back out. And you're just like, well, that's gonna drown me in the deep end of my emotions if I don't know how to get out after playing this role that's really intense, and this character makes nothing but bad decisions and thinks horribly of themselves. And it was around the time of playing characters where I was like, these characters are going through it, and I couldn't shake it off. And so in the spiritual work that I found, I was like, I know that the power of now has nothing to do with acting, but this is really helping my creative journey. And so all of it has kind of come together in a really beautiful way, because now that I get to be an artist and a coach, I actually finally feel like I'm living in my whole life's purpose. So thanks. I love you guys.